Good afternoon. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. I'm your host, Brian Taylor Bridges. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News, y'all. Come on in, join me this evening. Got a case out of Detroit, y'all. I'm sure by now that everyone had just about heard about this case right here. Mr. Dr. Porter Burke's case, you all. And this young man had mental health issues. So I want to go in on his behalf tonight. But before I go in on his behalf, I would like to give a sincere condolences out to his family, to the family of Porter Burks, you all. Was a 20-year-old mental health patient. I said that he was a 20-year-old mental health patient who happened to be gunned down by the Detroit Police Department, because he had a pocket knife in his pocket, you all. He did seem to appear to run toward the officers, which was in the same direction. He could have been running a different direction, in the same direction, in this particular case, you all. And there's a lot of things I want to go over about this particular case, you all, and hope that we can shed some light to the public and to the citizens of the United States, you all. Like I said, this is a very sad case. I had a lot of trouble sleeping last night, you all. I want to actually come on and go in right then on these particular people, you all. But in this situation, like I said, I had to really think about this one, you all. Because it's very sad. Like I said, the brother was a mental health patient, and also he had been in trouble before, you all. The young man had absolutely been in trouble before. He had been admitted. He had been actually admitted into a mental health facility in which he actually broke out of this place, you all. I do have some experience with that also. At a very young age, I myself was also admitted as an inpatient inside of a mental health facility for young adults, you all. I said it. I was actually admitted into one of these places before, you all, and I was admitted for depression at this time, you all. So I can actually relate to this particular situation. And like I said, it was very, very touching to me, you all, because like I said, the young boy was just a child, and just how they try to twist the narratives in public, you all, the way they twist the narrative and make it seem like these people are just some horrible people, you all. This family had actually reached out to the police department and asked them for some help. When these particular officers got to the scene, you all, they actually knew that this man was going through a mental health crisis, you all. They supposedly, you all, had someone that was out on the scene that was supposed to be actually trained in this specific situation, you all. But the man, he also failed as well, you all. And I can just about show you all verbatim, pretty much what had happened on this scene. I do have a news clip which I will read to you all tonight, and also the article as well, you all, and that's the one I'm going to actually read, while I also share with you all the news clip, you all. Like I said, this was a sad one, a very sad one, you all. Man, there's so many people going through mental health issues right now, and this is not the first time, you all. They make it seem like these are actually the first situations when going out to deal with these mental health patients, but it seemed like the same outcome at the end, you all, which happens to be these mental health patients end up dead. I said that these mental health patients actually end up dead, you all. Before I actually get off into that, let me read my copyright disclaimer under Title 17, USC, Sections 107. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. It tips the balance in favor of fair use, you all. Like I said, man, this is a very sad case, and man, I just couldn't rest without actually getting on here and share this with you all. Like I said, by now, a lot of people should be up to date, but some people don't even watch TV at all, you all. They pretty much are actually on these sites, so with the help of God and, you know, few other people, a lot of other people that's actually out there in the black grassroots and in black media that's actually sharing this particular topic, you all. But I want to do my part and come on and share it and talk about it as well, you all. Because like I said, this is a very sad case. A lot of other things could have been done. And for us as civilians to be able to understand a situation like this when they are actually supposed to be trained officers out here, should be trained enough to apprehend a suspect without killing them. I said it, to actually apprehend a suspect without killing them, you all. In this case, this young man was actually 160 pounds, you all. He was actually 160 pounds. And like I said, a very, very sad situation. It said, Porter Burke shooting, you all. 38 shots in 3 seconds by Detroit police. Chief said he ran at the officers with a knife, you all. Now, mind you, the knife and this was another sad thing that's very sad and disgusting to me, because actually, you know, it was a Caucasian officer who actually pulled the trigger, and then they actually get these other people or some black guys or black cops, sheriffs or whatever to actually get on and try to tell the people bull crap. I said it, they actually using other people to try to get on to make us feel comfortable, to make us feel like it was actually some work done, you all. But in this situation, it was really not the case. I said it was not the case. Like I said, the officer was able to see what he can see just as well as the people. To me, it seemed like he was a whole house length, or a house length, either a house or a house and a half, and this is actually more than 20 feet, you all. The average house is about 50 to 55 feet long. I mean, there's not a house that they saying is 10 feet in width, you all. There is not actually a house that is actually built 10 feet in width, unless it would be one of these shotgun hole in a wall shotgun little houses, one of these little small little type of things. But this is not the type of neighborhood that they actually live in, you all. And also, another thing that was more than disgusting to me is that, you know, the young man had a pocket knife, you all, in which in this particular case, these officers are actually saying that he had an 8-inch pocket knife, you all, and this would happen to be an 8-inch pocket knife. This is actually what would look like an 8-inch pocket knife. But mind you, you all, once I release the blade, that this knife would be actually close to 10 inches long. But, you know, even on the streets, when we had these particular weapons, I mean, this would be the width. They measure the blades of the knife by the blade of the knife, not the handle, you all. They measure these particular weapons on the street as such, which would be considered a legal pocket knife. This would actually be considered a legal pocket knife, you all. Like I said, if I release it, it's actually would be 10 feet long, or 8. You know, and when you have 5, 6 other people with with a gun, you all. What is it actually to be afraid of? How can I be afraid of a man with a knife or wielding a knife, in a mental health situation, and I got guns in my hand, you all? Like I said, this absolutely makes no sense. And it's kind of sad that officers would even consider this to be a threat, you all. Like I said, you couldn't even see the particular knife in the video hand. Now, another thing that was crazy to me, you all, and I'm going to actually get off into that before I actually share that, but let me read the rest of this story to you all so we can actually get a better understanding for those people who may not be knowing what's actually going on, you all. It said Porter Burke's shooting, you all. 38 shots fired in 3 seconds by a Detroit police chief. He ran at the officers with a knife, he said. He said after a 20-year-old man was shot and killed by Detroit police officers on Sunday morning, his family demanded answers from the city's chief of police. On Tuesday, 38 rounds were fired in 3 seconds as he ran toward officers with a knife. It said Porter Burks was killed Sunday morning in Detroit on a DPD chief, James White, said he was carrying a knife and refused to comply with the officer's order, you all. It said to put the knife down when he ran toward the police officers. White said they had no choice. No choice. That's a lie, man. I said that's an absolute lie. There was 5 people who fired shots. Before I continue reading, there was 5 people who fired shots, you all. It was at least 5 to 7 officers on the scene. One of those officers who was standing next to these same officers had a taser, you all. This man he didn't think at all that there was no reason to actually pull these weapons. So this one particular officer was the only officer who had a taser. They failed to tell that to the public. Now, why they didn't tase this man, actually tase this man, because he had actually been tased before, you all. And like I said, knowing that he has a mental issue, he had not hurted anyone. He stabbed his brother's tires, you all, which was possibly one tire, you all. Like I said, his family initially called for help, and help is what they needed. They did not need to kill their family. This man did not want to get his sibling killed. And just imagine what he has to feel as a brother. For him, he actually made the phone call. Y'all came over there, killed his brother. And then how you think he feel as a person? He also may need some counseling, you all. Like I said, man, that's a sad situation. It said Chief James White, who is actually making justification of these officers' actions, you all. And this is something that I fail to understand. And like I said, I'm going to get to these particular reasons why, you all. It said he was carrying a knife and refused to comply with the officer's order to put the knife down. When he ran toward the Detroit police officer, White said they had no choice but to take down the 20-year-old man. It said their family say they called 911 Saturday night and Sunday morning because Burke had a knife. It said the family says Burke didn't attack them, but had slashed the tires of his brother's car, you all. And that's who was calling, initially calling. His brother wanted to call and make a complaint. He said just to send the EMS. This is what his brother was saying. Please, man, send the EMS. He said out so that they could get him back to the mental treatment, you all. Like I said, the young man was currently had been in the mental facility in which he left on his own, you all. Like I said, I'm not pretty sure of these certain situations, but at this time, my parent had to actually sign me in this particular place, you all. I was in a situation where I left on my own as well. Now they did come out and try to talk me into going back, but this was nothing that I wanted to do at all. In fact, I even left my daddy. I was not going back there. I felt absolutely betrayed and hurt. you all. But like I said, this is another story for another day. Tonight it's about Mr. Porter, you all, and condolences again to his family. Like I said, his brother had initially called him out, y'all, for help. So this is a sad situation. I'm actually calling somebody to come help one of my children, my wife, my cousin, my brother, and then the police come out and kill them, you all. I've been in a situation like that where I possibly could have got killed by, a few of these officers, or quite a few of them, you all. I've been in hostage situations and a few more other things, but that's another story for another day. Like I said, man, it said during the update on Tuesday, White released a preliminary information about the deaths of Burke, which he called it tragic, and expressed condolences for the family. Around 5 a.m. on Sunday, police responded to the family's 911 call about Burke. They said he was armed, and they were concerned about the other people's safety. He was also carrying a folding knife, which White said was an 8-inch blade. The blade was not 8 inches. I mean, we can clearly see that. Don't matter how big you zoom it, don't matter what you do, the blade is not 8 inches, you all. Like I said, they pretty much measured this blade, you all. They measured this blade. They measured the length of the blade, you all. Like I said, they measured the whole blade, which a blade and a knife handle is two different things. I said it, a blade and a knife handle is actually two different things, you all. This knife was not 8 inches long. It was not some sort of a butcher knife. It could have been small enough to actually cut some fishing line or some fishing string, you all. Like I said, but this is one of the things they tried to blow it up and enlarge the picture to make it seem like it was some butcher knife he was running at these people with, but that was absolutely not the case. I said it was absolutely not the case, you all. And furthermore, why didn't they shoot beanbag bullet pellets at the man? Why didn't they fire shots at his leg? Man, they could have fired one shot at his leg, hit him in the kneecap, and dropped him. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, how hard is it to really apprehend somebody, you all, when you got pistols at them? And then another thing, I'm going to tell you what was most disgusting. What was the most disgusting thing? It said the responding officers said that he would find Burke and would then contact the family members. So he lied to them people again that he would actually find Burke and then call his brother, call him, and try to de-escalate the situation. It said videos released by the Detroit police officer showed the conversation with the officer and the family, plus video of the encounter with Burke, you all. It said White said the officers who was talking with Burke was with Crisis Intervention Center. So this man was actually with the Crisis Intervention Center, you all. Now listen to this. It says, which goes through mental health training to de-escalate techniques, you all. So, like I said, it was some other things that they could have done, but they were still getting into a shooting stance. They was more concerned with the shooting order, lining up behind each other and all this. Only one police officer had common sense enough to grab his taser, you all. I said it, one police officer. You had one smart apple out the bunch. And that's a sad thing when you got 6 cops. You got 6 cops. Out of 6 cops, one of them good, you all. So this is a 6-to-1 odds. So let's just say it. Let's just go on flat out say it. For every one good cop, it's 6 bad cops. Hey, this don't even add up, you all. This is not the proper number or the proper procedures or accurate numbers for anything that we need, you all, as far as the safety of the people. I mean, for every one good cop is 6 cops that don't care, you all. Like I said, this was another perfect perfect situation for them to actually execute someone, you all. I said it. It was a perfect situation for them to actually execute somebody. And this may be one of the things that they are actually trained to do, you all. I said that this is one of the things that they are actually trained to do. Like I said, the life of this particular person, Mr. Porter, was not valued at all. Man, they had no sense of respect for the life that God created, because they didn't create the life. Police officers don't create the life. The police chief don't create the life. The mayor don't create the life. The governor, he don't create the life. I mean, God gave that man his life, you all. And then these people actually has taken it. I said it. These people has actually taken it. And what was the main discussing thing to me, I finna get to that. It said the officer asked him to drop the knife multiple times, you all. And Burt's what he wanted, you all. So this is how it's read. It said in Burt's what he wanted. Excuse me. It said, we're here to help you. We're here to help you, Porter, the officer said. It said the officer asked him what he needed as he stood in the middle of the street, you all. And he was responding on what he actually needed. They cut all that out. He said about 20 feet away. Man, this man was way more than 20 feet away. But anyway, it said from the officers as they urged him to drop the knife. It said after about 4 minutes of trying to convince him to drop the knife, he started to run toward the officers. He said, who then shot him when he was about 6 feet away. Man, we can clearly see that was more than 6 feet away. I mean, just the lies alone, just the lies that they actually try to give the people, you all, as though we stupid, as though we can't see what we see. You know, like I said, you know, they never care about the actual people that they are paid to protect. You know, they are only concerned about their system. I said it, they're only concerned about protecting the white system instead of actually protecting people, you all. And this is what it actually is. It said this is a tragic situation. Anytime we use force, not a desired outcome. It said anytime we use fatal force, it's a tragic outcome, White said. It said police said Burke had schizophrenia, y'all. So he was paranoid schizophrenic on top of all this other stuff. He was a paranoid schizophrenia. Like I said, and we don't actually know. I can't see if the police had actually identified themselves as police. This is not one of the things that I observed. You know, all I kept on hearing was people saying that they was here to help him. Okay, cool. Well, if y'all was here to help him, why didn't y'all actually help the man, you all? Like I said, I'm going to get to the most disgusting part of this whole ordeal, you all. And this is what was crazy to me. It said this is a system that has failed Mr. Burks, you all, and Mr. Burks' family. White said, nah, your system failed them too. The system, not just the system of mental health, not just the mental health hospital, but the police system, the government system, the system that's in place right now that's not protecting the people on the streets, that's not protecting our children. I mean, how many more children do we actually have to lose? I mean, they've been killing our children since slavery. I said it. They've been killing our children since slavery. And it's really disgusting for me to actually see a black person. I don't care if he was green, pink, or purple or yellow. But actually see a black man stand up here and justify the killing of a mental health patient is disgusting. It's beyond disgusting to me, and something that I can't understand. You know, it said officers are routinely put into the mode of candidly. We're seeing more and more of this violent episodes, you all. It said White said he did not know officers were aware of Burke's previous run-in with the police. So White said, Chief White said, like he's saying, you know, and why is you saying all this for some people like I say, don't care about, they don't even actually care about you as a police chief. And they don't care about your people. I mean, this is what's baffling to me, to be a police chief. You speaking for some people who don't actually care about you. They don't care about your people or your kids that's dying in the streets. Because these are supposed to be the kids that you are responsible for as a police chief. But this is not what you're doing with the people of Detroit. I don't know if they vote down there on the Chiefs or not, but this is something that the Detroit citizens need to look into, you all. Because like I said, I wouldn't want nobody to represent me like that, to represent my people, to represent the people of the streets, to represent a Martian, a UFO, to represent an alien. You know, like I said, this is one of the things that's sad and disgusting. It said a total of 38 shots were fired by 5 officers, in which a little more than 3 seconds. It said Burke had 15 rounds to his body, you all, but the police said they didn't actually know if they had entry wounds or exit wounds or whatever. It said they won't have a full count of many times he was actually shot until the medical examination report is done. It said 5 officers who fired the weapons are all on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation, you all. And like I said, I feel to go ahead on and also share this video so I can actually tell y'all what was most disgusting, you all. And this what was most disgusting to me. Because this little kid, this young man actually had flashlights gleaming down his face, you all. Now, listen, hear me out. And you hear me too, police chief, because I actually hashtagged you in this one, you all. You know, a lot of times we kind of wait and, you know, hopefully these people hear. But now we're going to start actually hashtagging them in there so they can actually hear what we're saying, you all, whether they want to hear it or not, like it or lump it. I mean, because that's just the way we have to take these same situations. We have to like it or actually love it, you all. And like I said, this is what's sad. But this is what's sad for officers that had actually known. Now, all these people, all these police officers got lights in this man's face. That means his vision. Man, this is the first thing officers do to distort your vision is put flashlights in your face. This is the first act, you all. Now, while this man had lights actually pointing down his face, guns gleaming at him, and actually you can't see the guns. He cannot see a gun, you all. These officers, they point these guns with the flashlight, particularly on top of these guns, you all, so you cannot see the vision of now one of these guns, you all. And the most disgusting thing to me, you all, they tried to actually give the young man some hand signals. I said it. Talking about, come on, this here. And this is what the chief is actually saying. He was doing this here, y'all. This is actually a crisis sign. Man, this is actually a sign for monkeys. I said it. It's actually a sign for monkeys and animals, you all. The chief saying that this officer is doing this here as though this is some kind of indication that this man can see. As though this some kind of something that this man could actually understand. Good evening, brother Carl. What's up, bro? I was coming in, going in tonight on this little Porter case, bro. So you pretty much right in time. You ain't missing nothing. Whatever you miss, you probably run it back, bro. But like I said, I wanted to come on last night and jump on this, and I'm glad you slid in here for a moment. But this is sad, man. We have a mental health victim who was actually a child, man, a kid, 20 years old. Now, mind you, he had been in trouble before, but particularly a lot of kids have been in trouble before. But what I'm saying is that the young boy, he really had a mental health crisis. He really been to a mental health facility as an inpatient, you all. Like I said, not only did the police fail him, but not only did the system fail him, but the police system failed him, and this was my main concern, Carl and Jubin. What's up, Jubin? And like I'm saying, man, these police officers had these flashlights shining in this boy's face. You point the weapon. When you point the weapon and they got the flashlight on top of the gun, you cannot see the gun. You can't even see the officers for that matter. But this disgusting officer came up with some hand signals talking about this is supposed to the officers, this is an indication that the officer is trying to tell him that it's safe. He can come this way, you all. And you're going to see how he emphasized this. Now, what kind of monkey sign is this? I mean, what you do? I mean, who can understand that? Especially if you're going through a mental health crisis with flashlight shining in your face. He could not even see this hand gesture. And like I said, Carl and you, bros, we tag the chief in this one, man. Because like I said, I really can't understand how they keep killing black kids on the street. And this particular kid had a mental health issue, you all. Like I said, man, it's very sad and disgusting because his brother actually called the people out there, but he was calling because his little brother had stabbed his tires, you all. He had actually stabbed one of his tires. The police chief even lied on the boy. He talking about the boy got an 8-inch knife, Carl. Now, the police chief, they tried to measure the whole thing. And when they hit us on the street, they hit us like this here. And tell you, oh yeah, you good. They just want to get the length of the blade. Man, they took a picture of this little man pocket knife. I promise you it was smaller than this one. They just zoomed it up all big, tried to make it look like a butcher knife on the screen. Man, they don't care about us at all, bro. Like I said, this is why I want to come on and particularly come on about this because, like I said, what kind of crisis signal is that, you all? I mean, what is this? I mean, and who can see that? Like I said, who can see that with police lights? They got the car lights shining on you. They got flashlights shining on you. Man, this man didn't know who y'all was. You know, if you ask me. And then they trying to say the man was 6 feet away when they fired. Man, you can see that man halfway across the screen. He was farther than the little brother who got shot 60 times. You know, he was farther than him. I mean, like I said, I don't understand this, man. It was very disturbing today. I had y'all missed a little reading, but it's cool. I got the video, bros. And I want to share it with y'all anyway. I'm glad y'all pulled up. I was looking for my bros. Hold on. Because I had two little videos, but this one right here.
The victim's family is now suing DPD. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack joins us live. And Jessica, this family is understandably really upset right now. But
yeah. That's what they need,
the family
we can't do that.
Was calling for body camera footage of the incident to be released, and that's exactly what happened this afternoon.
That's the way I feel, though, bro.
Reporters and his family, they were here in numbers, a couple dozen, obviously disturbed.
Like I said, these are our kids, man. He's 20 years old. He ain't even had a life to live yet, man. I lived 20 twice. You know, really 3 or 4 times, you know, with all the things that I have done, you know.
And that's where officers initially made.
Man, these boys ain't making it past 25.
Situation. Let's take a listen to that 4-minute negotiation.
Yeah, what she's saying is relevant, y'all, but it's almost there. Here we go. Now watch the little boy, man.
Whatever you want, we can help you with. We can get you home.
You see these hand signals?
Right now, we take your job life. As you can see, the officer is extending his hand.
And that's what he wants.
The extension of the hand is to say that everything here is safe. I'm not here to harm you. And you're in total control of
this is what this hand signal is supposed to mean. Now, how you supposed to know this as a mental patient? And then look who they got all the black folks up there. They got a row of black folks up there like that's gonna make a difference. Like that's gonna make it the truth or something. Man, he said this is supposed to indicate. Listen to the chief, you all. Chief, you said it. You said it.
It's to say that everything here is. As you can see, the officer.
Minute negotiation.
We're here to help you, man. Whatever you want, we can help you with. We can get you home.
Man,
Right now, we need you to drop a knife. As you can see,
this man way down there.
He's extending his hand. That's part of his training. The extension of the hand is to say that everything here is safe. I'm not here to harm you.
How the extension of the hand is saying all this with lights in your face? That's what's disgusting to me because they think we animals and apes and monkeys and shit like that. This man say this is an indication that everything is cool and safe. Man, how can he see that? Like he's some monkey in the zoo. Like he in Houston Zoo or something. Man, these people crazy. And then they got all these suckers up here. Look at these people. To back up the lies of the system that failed him. What kind of indication, what kind of hand signal is that? And how can you see that as a child? Exactly. Some sellouts. You and your whole department, Chief White. Then y'all condoning the actions of, like I said, somebody that man, y'all trained him to do what? He couldn't tase the man? Like I said, he could have shot the little boy in the knee, man. Could have busted him. Bow. Man, that'd drop anybody, man. You dropped 500 pounds. This little boy was 160 pounds. They talking about they scared. Man, they need to quit. Every situation is a scary situation. You can't get you take 5 of us fresh off the street with no experience and we could have went got that little boy and brought him home to his people. Man, y'all is sorry.
We're here to help you, man. Whatever you want, we can help you with. We can get you home. Right now, we need you to drop.
This him way back there.
Is extending his hand. That's part of his training. The extension of the hand is to say that everything here is safe. I'm not here to harm you. And you're in total control of this moment.
That's what the hand say. How the hand gonna say all that? That's like they tell you the police dog say there's some dope over there. The police dog, he said they was in the back. What the hell? They done beat him doing the signal, made the dog start barking and kicked the dog, stepped on his foot or something. They talking about the dog said. How you understand barking? Woof, woof. You don't know what the dog say. The dog could be saying it's stinking this month. You know? We don't know what the dog's saying. They ain't figured that out yet. But they what the dog say. Now you tell him, now what this supposed to mean. The hell that mean? And who can see that with them lights? Man, did y'all see all them lights? Come on, baby, you can come in.
Sadly, though, those tactics did not work. The chief said that out of nowhere, you can see on the body camera footage that Burst ascended at officers with that knife. He was about 6 feet away before they started firing. 38 shots in total, 5 officers firing their weapons. Sadly, 15 of those bullets took effect, and he was dead right there on the scene on the city's west side. Now, of course, the family has retained an attorney, high-profile attorney Jeffrey Feiger. And the family out here right in the parking lot questioning why a taser was not.
She probably hit me in there fussing y'all, but man, this is horrible, man. Like I say, it was hard seeing this other little dude get smoked like that, man. Yeah, I don't understand this here, man. Now, 20 years old. They couldn't get the boy no help. They couldn't shoot him in the leg. Hey, go on first Christ game. They can't, man.